Hello, my name is Marina, and I have today with me on my Global Spirit Library channel, Cinna. Very nice to meet you. And I have found you on social media, on the Instagram, I think, and I thought that it can be very interesting to find you, especially then I think I'm into this femininity and trying to explore my feminine side. Don't really understand what it is and where I am. So it will be very interesting to hear your story and maybe hear some advices from your side how to follow this path and be into this feminine side. So welcome.
Thank you.
To my YouTube channel, and I suggest that we start from the beginning. Just tell your story, because I saw on your website, I think, that you were into corporate world, and at some time you were disappointed about these money-driven companies and everything which is connected to that, and probably it was some moment in your life then you decided, no, I don't want to continue, I need to do something else. So please tell when it started and what inspired you to begin this journey.
Yes, yes, I was working as a product designer for quite a few years. And I was very much in that corporate world where everything is like very goal driven and you have to have kind of sharp elbows to get your way forward, and it's hierarchy and everyone is like quite in a way self-focused to make their way forward. I've been doing yoga for a very long time. I think it's like 20 years now. I'm 39 now. So I was doing that, but I think we can come back to that. I was also doing that in quite a masculine way.
Okay.
But I came to a point where I was like, my yoga and my meditation practice was like growing and growing. And then I was also at that point working in H&M. Sorry, and
that I did also.
Oh, sorry.
I was working for H&M.
You did too. Oh, okay, yeah. Then you know, like it's very like fast paced and also in a way for me very shallow with all these products that are so fast created and fast consumed in a way because they're so inexpensive. So it was a combination, I think, of how my morals for the products I want to create and the value for the world, they didn't match with H&M. And also I was feeling that I was so frustrated, like being in that environment with that very like corporate and quite hard and not so sensitive and, you know, loving environment. Very mindy also, and very, as you said, like very driven from money all the time.
So you were designing clothes?
I was designing the products actually for H&M Home.
H&M Home.
So I was doing that, but then I was, I think, I was coming to a point where I had so much inner discomfort. I was like so frustrated with being in that environment. And at the same time, it felt so scary to leave because that was my dream since I was a kid, to be a designer. And that was my whole like identity, how I saw myself, that I'm a designer. And I had like somehow also a pride in that, I guess. So that was like, I think, one of my biggest and hardest decision, but also the best to quit that job. And I just felt like I can't do this anymore. So I quit, and I didn't know exactly where I would go.
So you had no plan?
I knew I wanted to do more yoga because that was an environment where I felt very good, and I was starting to get deeper and deeper into myself and to see myself, to see my inner, to my thoughts. I started to realize I'm not my thoughts. I started to really go deeper into the spiritual realm, and I think it was when I quit my job, like so many opportunities came into me, and people started to connect me, and like it felt like the world was really holding me, which I think is like was my first experience of really following my heart in my life. And then it was like I felt so held from life. Everything was served in a way. So that was a big, really big aha, like wow, I can live like this also. It took a lot of courage, but I felt really rewarded for doing that. So that was like my first like big awakening or transition of my path into something that is more true to my heart. And so then I was teaching after I studied to become a yoga teacher then, and I taught yoga for a few years. But then again, like it started to have this uncomfort in me, or I started to feel like there is something that doesn't feel 100% here. And then I came in contact with Tantra. And this is, and I started to read a lot about how in Tantra they talk a lot about feminine and masculine energy, which is, it's not the same as man and woman. So every person has feminine energy and every person has masculine energy, but in different amount. And most women have more feminine, and most men have more masculine. But then, of course, it varies. So I started to realize, and I had this huge like aha wake-up call, like wow, I've been living my whole life so much in my masculine energies, and the whole society is so promoted and you're so rewarded when you are in your masculine energies. You should be outgoing, talkative, extrovert, fast, effective, goal-oriented, always know where you're going. You know, like a bit tough and like,
Recognize exactly.
All of that. And even like when I was a kid, even my mom was saying like, yeah, you should be a bit more tough. But I think, so I realized, okay, I've been living in this all my life, but I also reading then all about the feminine through Tantra, and a lot, the work of David Deida, a man who teaches Tantra. Then I realized, but the feminine, this softness and this like intuitive, listening into the body, listening into my gut feeling, and moving from joy, moving from following my heart more than my like feeling or thinking what is rational, but more like living life from my body and what feels good, and allowing myself that, and also allowing my sensitive side, because I'm very sensitive, and I think I've always been that, but that has been something I didn't really accept that, and I didn't really like that with myself. I didn't like that I cry easily, and I feel other people's emotions, and I feel everything very deeply, both like the joy and the sadness, and I just feel deep. So I realized, wow, I've been suppressing the feminine so much in my life. And it was such a like both like beautiful to see, like I think every time you have these aha moments when you realize something about yourself, it can often be both the part you're so happy and grateful to see it, but also there's a sadness often like, oh, I've been in this all my life. And then I was like 32 or something when this happened. It was 2017. So it became like a big shift for me, and I started to like enjoy so much to explore, like really allowing and being in the feminine, to a point like I didn't want to be almost at all in the masculine. And I think it's all often like this when you've been at one place so much. I had been in the masculine energies like all my life almost. Then I had to be so much in the feminine. So I was feeling with the yoga, I was teaching Hatha yoga, you know, where the poses are quite, you hold them for a while and you breathe, and then you go to the next, and it's quite masculine way of practicing yoga actually, and it's also made for monks, from men to men. So I felt, okay, because I love my yoga practice and I love the practice, but I start to feel like it's not fully right. So that was the itch I started to feel there after a few years, when I realized like, oh, but the feminine is missing here. Even in the yoga practice, the feminine is missing. And even like I had done a vipassana, you know, this meditation where you sit a lot, and it's also, I started to realize like so much of the spiritual practices that are the most common ones are quite masculine in their nature. And like when I say all this, I don't want to, it's nothing wrong with that, like, but I just felt like this is not fully true for me. I want to explore more of a spiritual path that is feminine. So then I went traveling, and I came in contact with another Tantra teacher, and I did like a few trainings with her. And that was when I came a lot in contact with the yoni yoga and the yoni egg practices, which is actually from Taoism.
And that I don't know what is that. I saw that on your website, but if you can describe
I can describe.
what exactly that
So the
is.
yoni egg practice it's an ancient practice come from China, from the Taoism teachings, philosophy. So it's like 3 to 4, they don't really know, 3 to 4,000 years old. And it's an egg. You use a crystal egg, can be jade or rose quartz or some kind of crystal. The traditional one is jade. And so you insert this into your yoni. Yoni is vagina. In Sanskrit it means sacred place or sacred portal. So a very beautiful place for this beautiful part of our body as women. So you insert this egg, and then you breathe and you move and you squeeze. So it's like, it has so many parts to it, but it really activates that energy center of the sacral energy center, Svadhisthana chakra. And also it's beautiful to release, because a lot of women holds quite a lot here. It can hold tension, or it can be trauma, and it can also be a lot of blockages here in the energy. So I started to do this, and I realized like I've been also holding back myself in my sensual and sexual energy, which I had no idea about. And I haven't had any sexual trauma or anything. I've always thought like I'm healthy with my sexuality. I don't have anything. But when I started to explore this practice, I felt like, wow, there is so much I've been holding back. I haven't fully been allowing this energy and my pleasure to fully like express itself through my body and to flow. And
sorry to interrupt you, but what do you mean exactly that you, when you started to practice that, then you started to feel on the different way, like this pleasure, not on the same way like then you have the contact with the man?
Exactly. Both in the contact with myself, if I'm in self-pleasure with myself, if I'm like that in that or if I'm with a man. I realized like I have been feeling this much pleasure, and it's possible to feel this.
Wow. Interesting.
So it was so expansive for me, but also a lot of release. Also like, my hips got so much more soft, and just felt like the energy could flow better through my body and being.
And this is part of Tantra then?
So this practice is actually from the Taoist teachings, but I would say like it's connected to Tantra in a way, because Tantra is so inclusive of the body. I mean, Tantra is the Tantra we see a lot now is so much about sexuality, but actually the like classic Tantra is it's not so much about sexuality, but it's very inclusive of how the body is sacred. And if you look at the more Vedanta or those teachings of the Vipassana, and it's a lot about, in a way, transcending the body, or like the meditation or Zen meditation, to go more up and out, where Tantra is more like everything, like the body is sacred. And
So you're teaching women, you're giving this practice, yoni practice.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it all became very fast because I found when I started to do it, I just felt immediately like this. It felt like a calling that this is something I almost like I have to. I have to share this with women because this is so needed, and also the feeling like if I didn't know I need this, then probably no one knows, but everyone needs it. Everyone will benefit from this so much. So then I came home and I started to teach that. And I've been doing that now for like 6 years, both with the egg and without the egg. And I find, as you ask about the femininity, that when connected with our yoni, it's so much easier to be in our feminine flow. Like this, it feels like it's a power center for the feminine. And when we are connected here, like we become connected to our intuition and like our receptivity and our body. So when we move down, instead of just being up in the mind so much, and yeah, this is really our power. It's like so much power coming from there, because when we are there, like connected in connection and sensitivity and feeling in contact with the body, we know everything what is right for us when you truly have that connection. And no one can really tell you like do that or this is right for you, or like it's very empowering to have that connection. And probably that is also why it has been disrupted, or like why we have been cut off so much in our connection with our sexuality, because it is so empowering to be in that connection.
This is actually, I have heard on a previous interview that now this is time for us women to, I don't know, lead the world, or somehow to take a lead or everything. What do you think about that? Because it has been, first of all, man who was like, I think in the charge of everything.
Yeah, I think the world is lacking so much the love of the feminine and the healing aspects and the power of the feminine, which is like love and compassion and forgiveness. I mean, these powers, forgiveness, compassion, and love, I think it's three of the most like biggest power of the feminine that we can give. Both like of the mother, you know, that holds the child. There is so much love, there is so much forgiveness, there is so much compassion for everything that child does. In a way, that is what the world needs. We don't need to fight. And I think also that is, if you look at the feminist movements, that's been like, it's been a lot of fighting. So it's been a lot of going into the masculine energy to fight the excess of masculine energy. But I think we have to be in our feminine to balance up there is so much of the masculine still, but so in that way I think like the feminine in all of us, both in man and woman, it needs to be like worshipped and hired, like we have to rise it or see it as valuable as all the masculine aspects. Because they're both beautiful. It's like yin and yang. They're both needed. And it's not like we should bring all the feminine up and have like, I don't think like, you know, we have patriarchy for 2,000 or 3,000 years now. I don't think we should go into matriarchy, but we need the balance. And now we have like masculine and the feminine is there. We have to like, balance that. Yeah, balance that out. And I think that is, one of the things that the world needs so much. And I feel that is a lot also what I want to contribute with in everything I do.
So you feel that this is your mission?
I feel a lot that's my calling.
Good. How do I know that I'm missing this feminine side inside me? I mean, I'm very interested in that now, and but should I see some specifically signs that this is something for me to explore more, or it's in general like advice for all the women, how to see that this is like you are into these masculine energies right now, so you really need to change and take in the first step. What advice can you give?
I think the feminine is a lot about leaning back, not like pushing and striving and also controlling, like, and being so much up in your head about how to do things, and you know, this little bit like pushy energy going forward, the forward striving. So and it's exhausting to be in that. If you feel exhausted from living your life, maybe that's a sign. Or if you feel you're all the time up in your mind, so much thoughts and just tired of that all the time, then I think it's time to, or the practice is to lean back a little bit, to lower your shoulders, to move down into your belly, you know, with your awareness. Close your eyes going inward. So that is also the masculine and the yang energy, yin and yang, also feminine, masculine. It's a lot outward and forward, and sometimes we need to be in that, but the feminine is more going inward, leaning back, and following flow more from an intuitive gut feeling than from the rational mind of what should be done or what must be done or what you think is the best way. But really trusting that when you know, pause for a bit, sit down, lie down, or breathe down into your belly, and just like listen more, look for the guidance that comes from the inside, that comes from the softness and the embodiment. So it's a lot about going in, slowing down, being. So the masculine is the doing, the feminine is the being.
Yeah.
So I think like maybe the main practice is to pause and be and go inward.
Yeah, but this is not so easy to achieve. This is you need really to practice with the meditation, I guess, and everything. Because even if I remember myself, when I started with the meditation, it was like terrible for me because it was so many thoughts in my head, and I couldn't really concentrate on my breathing. So this is really a journey.
And maybe like. It could also be like doing something that you really enjoy in your body, like dancing or being in nature. Nature is such a big feminine energy, like the nature of energy, how it's all the time moving. And so maybe it's more like instead of meditation, it could be like that you do something you enjoy. What does your body enjoy? To listen for that. Is it like often women really enjoy these like slow movements, you know, when you really slow down and place your hands on your body, and or maybe just stroke your body or
Hug yourself. How often do we do that?
Exactly, self-love. I also teach breast massage. It's really beautiful. You can do it in the shower, have some oil and just stroke your breast. That's such a beautiful way to move into the soft energy, the heart energy, and just, you know, or a sigh out. Sound is amazing also for the feminine. This is something we're not so used to in our society, to make sounds, but I teach that a lot together with the yoni yoga, to, you know, breathe in and just breathe out with a soft A sound, or you can do it when you're alone if it feels strange, like, but it has a very like calming and just nurturing effect.
Yeah, cool. You're also having, I saw on your Instagram that you're holding sound healing classes, right?
Yeah.
Is it, this is something additional to your feminine yoga classes, or you're combining?
Yeah, I started to. That is something that has come in now quite recently. To that I feel very drawn to do to give energy healing, or to work with energy more, like the subtle more subtle layers. And then with sound, it's a beautiful combination. So I would say it's, I don't know if it's very, like it's feminine in its essence, sound, but I just feel very drawn to that. It also has this very deep effect of going inward and slowing down, and the sounds, I use a lot crystal bowls, and that makes us go into this like theta brainwave state, almost like dreaming. So it can be an experience of you are awake, but you're almost like a dream state. So everything really slows down, and the body gets the opportunity, like it can, almost like closing all the tabs on the computer. It's like everything just quiets down, and the body can self-regulate, and the nervous system can go really into parasympathetic nervous system, and this rest, relax. So it's healing. It's
What is the difference between common yoga, I don't know, hatha? Hatha, that I understand that it's very like that you're following, or ashtanga, then you're following sequence. But what is the difference between like your yoga, feminine yoga, and the rest of yoga, so to say?
Oh, it's such a big difference. I feel I think my way of practicing yoga now, it's much more from the inside out than from the outside in. So I can explain what I mean with that. That when I was practicing the hatha yoga, I was a lot thinking of myself from the outside, like how exactly should the alignment look, and how should I breathe? And I was very much having like the eyes from the outside looking at myself, as we are a lot in our lives, which is something I think also it's a shift to the feminine to go more from the inside out. So not thinking about how it looks from the outside and how like exactly perfect alignment, but more feeling. So a lot I teach with closed eyes as much as I can. So you're still, the shapes can be quite similar, but it's all the time in movement, and it's all the time like guiding the students to feel from the inside, like how does it feel from the inside. And there's no need for this perfect alignment, but the alignment will be perfect for you when you feel it from the inside. And everybody is a little bit different also, so it's all the time feeling like, how does it feel from the inside, and moving from that. So practicing moving from your intuitive like urge to move an arm in that way, and to it's really the practice to going in and feeling from within and moving from within, rather than like thinking from without how it should be.
But you are using common asanas.
I do that.
Nothing special when it comes to postures.
No, the postures, but it's not. I don't do almost nothing or almost none of the like static poses. So it's more a vinyasa, but with more free flowing. So it's all the time in movement. So it's more like a dance. It's the poses, but it's in dance, or it's in. It's all the time some part of the body can get the chance to move. And also I like to also involve and invite more free movement. So it can be maybe that you are in a, I don't know, in a warrior one or something, but then also closing your eyes and feeling how does your arm and upper body wants to move in that. So it's inviting more of this intuitive knowing. And also inviting that you know, you don't. I'm there as a teacher, but I always say I'm just a guide. I'm just a guide to guide you, but I'm not the guru. I'm not the one who will tell you like this is right for you. But I want to guide you into your empowerment of your body knows, like that is, I think, the most important almost to retrieve that power back, like when we are in connection with our body, we know the body is so intelligent, and your intuition as a woman is so potent. So when you're in contact with that, I mean, you can go and get a little bit of guidance to be inspired, but then you will be your own best teacher and guru.
So you don't have guru, or
I have teachers.
you have
Yeah.
several?
Yes, I have a few. Yeah, but I don't think it's never ever good to put someone else up on a pedestal like this. You can be inspired and
Get knowledge,
cherish and
yeah.
acknowledge that they are, but we are all our own gurus in a way.
Yeah. I really like to hear your vision of yoga, because when I started with yoga, that was, I have chosen to go for power yoga, and this is what you exactly explained, that this is so much masculine, and you know that I have been using a lot of like chaturanga and such things, and do that perfect, all the asanas, and I wanted really to feel after classes that you have done workout. But after a while, I realized, no, this is not really. Yeah, on sometimes I'm enjoying that, but sometimes I really would like to be more soft. And but I was into that, and I saw that my clients liked it as well. But now I will start a new yoga class at the company which I work for, and I have that will happen in 1 month, and I have and I still don't I haven't decided what type of yoga to choose for that, and that will be for the office workers after working day and so on. So I'm really into that now to find some. Not to go for the power yoga, but to something more relaxing. Because I want to contribute for my colleagues to relax after working day, not to like push into the doing perfect asanas and so on. So really like to hear
that's
your
good.
vision of that.
Yeah, I think we all need that more feminine. As we are so much in the masculine, probably the whole day working, and not to say that sometimes maybe you need that masculine, and sometimes maybe your body really longs for that kind of way. It's nothing wrong with that, but
I wanted also to talk with you a little bit. It was very interesting that we were working for the same company, so that give us possibility to understand each other better. And I'm still in corporate world, so I'm working for the company, and honestly I can say that I cannot say that I hate that. I work with the projects, and for me it's always new assignments, new people, new project teams to work with, and I can say that I'm enjoying to reach the goals actually. But what I have started to feel that I'm lacking purpose. Bigger purpose, and this is like something inside me which tells me you need to explore other ways. So I don't another thing that I don't like, that you have to go to the office, even if I have possibility now to both working from home and from the office, but anyway, this is somebody who is deciding how many hours I should work, and I think 8 hours per day, it's like no way that you can be focused and concentrated. But I'm still into that, and I have difficult to decide, should I quit like you did, because I hear from different sides, and you need to quit your job, and then like world will explore. But I also would like to understand, think for example, if every woman will come to the point that I need to quit. I need to quit to do the yoga or something else. But then no woman will be left at the companies.
Yeah, that's true.
What will happen then?
Yeah, yeah.
And then I decided that okay, let's meet to introduce yoga to my colleagues. Let's start with that at
Yeah,
least.
yeah.
So maybe that will be the way,
Yeah.
and that will help me also to try the new role for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what do you think? What should that's what I mean. Like, not all the women can quit the
No.
job, and unfortunately, we're living in this reality that we have 40 hours working hours per week. Maybe it will be shift in the future. I hope so.
I hope so too.
Yeah, but we need women in the corporate
Yeah.
world as well.
I agree.
Right?
I don't think everybody needs to quit. And I think you can both be very much in contact with your feminine and also work. I mean, it's possible, even though it will be maybe, it will be, I mean, also most companies are more in the masculine, but every company is different.
Yeah.
But there will probably be a little bit of a clash if you're very much in your feminine. But also, I mean, like you say, you enjoy meeting these goals, and you enjoy, like, the masculine energy in you, enjoy that part, and that is great. And then it sounds great that you can both be in that, and you can do the yoga classes and become more aware of your feminine, and maybe invite the feminine a little bit more, even in your workplace, and that will be like a gift for everyone there. So I don't think there is any right or wrong. Everyone just have to feel for themselves. I think for me it was also that I felt the whole, if I would have been working in a company where I felt more like the products were in alignment with what feels good to me, and maybe it would have been different. But for me, it was so many things that was wrong with that workplace.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I actually worked 3 years for a company. I worked like 60%, a company that makes these like super good quality juices. And that felt really good for me to work for them, because it was a product that I could stand behind. And I felt it was like, giving health to people. And so
it's important.
That felt good to work there. So I think definitely you can work in a corporate world, as long as you're like in tune with what your heart is saying. Like, I think your heart, you will feel it in your heart and your gut, like if it's in alignment or not. Yeah.
But this is also, I had actually opportunity, because I was, due to the redundancies, I left H&M not so many months ago, actually. And then I was without work for 4 months. And of course I was thinking about what to do, and I at that time I was already into the yoga so much and spirituality. Actually, during this time I have started with this YouTube channel, but I didn't dare actually to leave completely corporate world, because I didn't understand how to get the money. You know, you are so used into that you're getting salary every month, and I was looking at the different yoga studios, like how much I can get from that, and that is honestly, this is not so much. And if you are if you used to live on the some comfort level, it's so scary to leave this.
It's super scary. It takes so much courage. And not always maybe it's the right way to just, like I did, just quit everything. And I think for me it was right back then, but I think for not for everyone.
But you didn't regret at all?
No, I didn't regret. It's like one of the best decisions I've made. But I think for some people, maybe you can go down, you can work 50% if possible, or you can and you can start do a little bit more of something else, or Yeah, I
But
think.
how was the money situation for
For
you
me,
then?
yeah, it was a little bit challenging when I quit, but also, as I said, I had so many opportunities coming in. So a friend of a friend knew a garden designer, and then I started to work with her a little bit. And then also I started to make a product that I've been very passionate about, which is like a lip balm that is all natural. So I started to make that, and I was starting to sell that. And then honestly, I was also Airbnb-ing my apartment to like get some money. So it worked. I got like from, but it was not like, of course, the same stability.
Yeah.
But somehow life was like still giving me opportunities. And I also I started also to freelance a little bit more as a designer, and I did like a project for a friend's friend who needed graphic design and illustrations for her like newly started granola. So I was getting like small jobs, you can say.
Good.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But to be honest, I feel now I think it's quite a good setup to have like maybe part-time job and then be free. I think that would be for me, but everyone is different, of course. But I think for me that would be the most like flowy or situation to have some stability, because then the whole like body and nervous system get more relaxed, and you can also create with more flow and ease.
That's what I felt actually, that because I have my partner and he has a job, so I knew that I will not be like without food and everything which is needed, but I couldn't relax of some reason, and this part of me I would like to explore more. What exactly is keeping me on that level?
Yeah, what is like, I guess it's what is your thought, what will happen if you don't have a job? What is the worst thing that can happen?
But also when we are talking about stability in general, and I have been thinking about that a lot, we are not living in the stable world right now. And especially when you think about those situations which happened like not so many years ago, like pandemic and war and so on. So it's maybe good to train a little bit to be in the situation where there is no stability at all, because nobody knows what will happen in the coming years.
And in a way there's never stability.
No.
Because life is changing all the time. Everything is changing, you and me and the world and everything around us. So that's the natural state. It's just that as a human we want to have so much control. We our ego is afraid to
exactly
of all the things.
Yeah, what I wanted to ask you also about your, if you have some kind of morning routines, which you are starting with your morning with, because I have started also introduce some routines in my life, and I see the difference. I see that helps me. But if you have something similar, can you share?
So I've had a morning practice for very many years now, but it's been changing all the time. Like for a while I was doing yoga every morning and different kinds of yoga and so on. Right now I feel like the most important maybe is to not force myself to do the same thing every day. So it has to be, I feel into what I need every morning, and then it's like I have this toolbox of things I can give myself. So it can be different. Sometimes it's yoga practice, like asana, physical yoga. Sometimes it's yoni practice. Sometimes it's breath work. I've started to like breath work quite a lot, and sometimes it's just sitting still. Sometimes it can be I live very close to a lake, so just going down and taking a swim in the lake, or taking a walk in nature. Yeah, it's very much now that I give myself different things. but almost every day I want to give myself water somehow, if it's like a shower or a swim in the lake. I feel that's also, the water is very connected to me, or I love the water, and also to the feminine essence. And it really, I feel the water helps me to both like clear the night that was, clear my dreams, and just get myself more like into my body, embodied, and take me more like here. Present. And
cool. When it comes to more advices from your side, I mean, I understand that this is like to find this balance, to discover, to feel, to connect with yourself. But more practical things. Can you give some advice about maybe books, maybe some classes, maybe some films to watch for those women who just in the beginning, you know, and they are maybe not so sure with the yoni, because it feels a little bit if you I can imagine if you are like into masculine world so much, like to start with the yoni, what is that, why do you need to put something inside you to understand, but something something to start with. Maybe it was some book or some film in your life after that
too. I would read a little bit about feminine and masculine, like maybe like you could just Google like Tantra, feminine and masculine energies, and just exploring, like when you read about the feminine, like how does it feel, how do you feel about those qualities, and like just reflecting on like how much in your life are you there, and also the masculine, what that is. There's a lot of information on that. There's a very beautiful book. She's a Norwegian teacher. She's called Shameli Argda. Maybe you can link it in, and it's called in Swedish "Kom närmare," in English it's like "Come closer," when the feminine heart awakens. I think that's a very beautiful book. That is a lot about the feminine, and it goes through like feminine spirituality and different parts. That's a beautiful book. And then I think also the yin yoga practice, that's also something I teach. The yin is very much the feminine, yin and yang. So that is something, if you don't want to dive into the yoni practices, try yin, like take some yin yoga, because that will make you slow down, be still with yourself, feel into the body, go into these different poses, and you hold them for like 3 to 4 minutes. And it makes you like, you really go into that yin energy, and which is very much also the feminine.
But you, I know that you are holding classes here in this studio. Is it any other studios where you're having your classes also?
So this autumn I will be here in Moon, and also Huddinge's Hjärta, the other studio here in Huddinge. And then I'm maybe going to teach in a studio in the city also, called Free Flow Stockholm, which is both, they have both dance classes and yoga. So it's not 100% decided, but I'm maybe going to teach there.
But you have also online courses,
I do,
right?
yeah.
Can you tell more?
Yeah, that is beautiful. You can, I have both yoni yoga without egg and with egg. Also, if you have egg and you never use it, I have these like short where you can just be guided how to insert the egg. And also I have some meditations. And also I have feminine flow yoga classes, which is something I teach, which is very much what I talked about, this yoga practice that is much more from the inside out. So I have a bundle of feminine flow classes that you can get on my website. So there you can get a taste of what I'm talking about and feel it.
Very good. I will add the link to you. You have very beautiful site.
Thank you.
Very beautiful picture and everything. Was it you who created that, or?
Yeah, I did. So I also like worked with design a lot. So
Very beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, but I saw also that you were announcing about upcoming workshops. So maybe in general you can tell what kind of events you are planning in the near future, and maybe about your dream, like to organize some festival. I don't know, doing something bigger. If this is something that you would like to do. So can you tell me about upcoming?
Upcoming, there will be a Yoni Egg live workshop, or like a longer class that I will do, I think, in September or October. So that is coming up. Then I'm also working actually on online program now that is for women to be more in tune. We haven't talked about that, but that's also a part, I think, to be more in the feminine, to very in tune with your cycle, your menstrual cycle.
Okay.
So being in tune with your hormones and feeling that. So I'm creating together with a friend who has this. She has a company for health for companies. But it's a program for how to live more like smart with your cycle, to how you can eat to support your hormonal, flow through the month, and how you can train, and how you can also meditate, and so that is something that will be launched in October probably.
Okay.
This program, yeah, those are the main bigger things that. Oh, I forgot. I also have sound and energy healing circles that will be here at Moon. So
soon.
Yeah, they will be during the autumn, one per month. So you can book them through the studio here.
Yeah.
So that will be sound healing and energy healing, a little bit of a longer session.
Yeah.
And for dream, I would think it would be beautiful to. I've held one retreat. It's beautiful to meet, and I had full day workshops with yoni practice. But it would be beautiful, I think, to have a little bit of a longer retreat together as women, and also to co-create. I feel a lot. I've been working quite a lot alone, with all these teachings, and I feel also it's time for doing things more together. In general, in everything, I feel like for women to come together, to help each other, to co-create together, and I feel also that feels like such a healthy way of holding space, that you share, and you
supporting each
other, because I think that is such a important thing, that we nurture ourselves, that we don't overgive as women, that we all the time make it priority to nurture ourselves and to be healthy in that way, give but also receive. In balance. So a co-creative, big, maybe 1 week long retreat with different women coming together, co-creating, sharing their gifts and their healing powers. That would be beautiful, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Sounds very nice. Yeah, what I have forgotten to ask you about, and I think this is very important for women in general to hear that. Then you started your feminine journey, so to say, and quit job and decided to go for the yoga. Were you facing some kind of negative comments from your relevance, I don't know, from your partner and so on? Because if you are living in your family, for example, if nobody interested into the spirituality so much, and this is only you, it might felt so much alone. Was it the case for you or not?
It was very challenging. I had I had a partner at that time who was supporting me a lot, because he had been walking the spiritual path, for a little bit longer time than me. So I had a lot of support from him. But my family, they were not understanding what I was doing. And they were quite afraid, I think, that I just quit my job, and how are you going to make money, and all of that. So actually when I quit my job, I didn't even tell a lot of people until like maybe 1 or 2 weeks after I'd done it, because I felt like there is no support there. So, but I feel that this is right for me, and I have to do it. And I guess I was a little bit afraid that if I tell them, then I will lose my power, or I will. So yeah, that was, and also the whole like spiritual awakening, and then also moving in more to the feminine. I'm very close to my sister, and I know she said now she's also walking the same spiritual path. So we again are quite close and can talk about everything. But for a while when she was not in it, and she's told me afterwards she felt almost like I was in some kind of sect, you know, or because I started to talk differently, use different words, and I became different. I started also to be more like putting boundaries, and you know, I think it's healthy. But when I started to do that for her, it felt like I was maybe egoistic, or because she was not used to me doing that, or more, you know, owning my power and really doing what I want. And so I think for sure, like, and I know so many other people with me experience these kind of things when you start to grow spiritually, and you know, just move more into your power as a woman also. Own what you want and go for what you want, and not listen to all this. It's also, again, it's the living from the inside out. I want this, I do this. And then of course not hurting anyone in the way when you do that, but being in the power of following your heart and path. When from before maybe you were listening to everyone else, or I had the habit before to, if I had a problem, I would call all my friends and like, what do you think about this? You know, and I would ask everyone, because I was not in connection to my, I thought like all the others' advice will be the best. But then the shift from moving from inside, it's like I will listen to myself first, and then maybe I can ask for advice. But the first thing is to go inside and listen, because this is the truest place. This is the place where I will find the answer.
I think it's very important to hear for everybody that it's quite natural that you will be in the situation that not all will understand what you are talking about, and this spirituality and the femininity and the everything, but it's important to not give up and just continue.
I think so. And the ones that really loves you, they will, I mean, they will want to also understand you and meet you. And what you do also when you grow like that, and when you follow your heart, you will be like an inspiration for others to do the same. And even if because it is challenging to break free and to change and to do things in a new way. So of course it will be triggering for people to see you doing that, because it will like pinpoint like what they are not doing. But maybe they will also then get the inspiration to do the same, and if it's in their highest like path to do so.
And I also agree with you that this is very good to have some kind of bigger retreat circles for the women, especially for the women who are not getting support from the family, from the friends and so on, to find some space where you can be understandable, you have somebody to talk with, and this is very beautiful that we have such possibilities to join.
It really is.
Different communities.
The women's circle also, like to be in circle with women and to have sharings, and that is also something I think is very like healing for the feminine. To be with other women and to hear other people's stories. And,
Okay, I think we will stop here. I would like to thank you very much for accepting my invitation. It was so, I cannot describe that with the words, but it was so beautiful, so nice to meet you and hear your story. And thank you very much for advices, and yeah, I hope to see you on some other events.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for inviting me. It was really beautiful to have this talk.
Yeah.